All right, good afternoon and welcome everybody to the Ask an Angel Sunday call. It's great to be here with all of you. I was with you last Sunday and we tapped in with Mary Magdalene, and her energy has been very strong and present, really feeling her frequency, which is very, very loving. If you didn't have a chance to listen to that transmission, you may want to go back and do that. It's up on YouTube. It's free and available. And Mary Magdalene came in and brought us into a cave where we laid down in this beautiful setting, like a sanctuary, and worked with the infinity symbol to open up space within our chakras to receive this beautiful plasmic liquid light that was falling into us and opening up this space and transmuting old discordant energies that we no longer need, that were being transmuted, as I recall, through crystal bowls and the sound frequencies that move through the chakras. And it's an important transmission if you have a chance to pop it in. And even if you just fall asleep to it, which I know a lot of people fall asleep to me, um, and that's okay. As I've said many times, it's the frequency, it's not necessarily what's being said that you're picking up on. And it's been a now, gosh, I don't even remember when I received the downloads of the light codes, but it's been a while. We've done, I think we're on code 20. And I always thought that as I transmitted and brought in the light codes and wrote them down, that the new Earth code would be the last code. That once we completed the codes, we would hit new Earth, right? Because we would step over that threshold into this space where people in the communities, a lot of people speak about ascension and the new Earth and 5D. And what really is that? How do you get there? And Raphael always says that it's already here. It's not something that that we're going to, it exists already. It's us moving into a frequency to allow us to bear witness to it, to be embedded in it, to embody it, to merge with that space that's so beautiful. And the codes themselves, all of them are contained within the New Earth Code. They're all there. And I'm sure most of you have, who are follow me pretty regularly, have our card deck. And for those of you who are waiting for orders, just know we've had some production issues, but we're working on it and they're coming. Um, but as I'm looking through the cards, all of the different codes are right here, and they've been designed, the artwork by tapestry, and inside of them themselves are activations. Simply by looking at the artwork and receiving the symbols and everything that's embedded within it, you're receiving those codes. And some of them you're going to relate to more than others, and you're going to feel that they really, really resonate with you or that you carry them. And as we move into the new Earth Code, we're going to ask you guys to really tap in and notice what codes you do resonate. And in some ways, it's almost not your destiny or your purpose, but it's a part of your signature. And the collective whole of all the codes is your signature. And yet, some of us feel more called as if a certain one is in alignment with who we are and what it is that we're sharing. And the only way that we are going to fully step into this frequency of what we call the new earth is together. It's a collective effort. It's a complete shift in the collective consciousness. So we always talk about all these constructs, right, that are collapsing and that they're dissolving. But what are we building in replace of that? And what is it that we agreed to before we arrived? And once we did arrive, all these things that we were unconscious of that were already deeply in place by society, um, simple things like stop signs, right? Just that we all agree on that. We're going to stop. Um, all these things that have been in place that we don't even think about, that are part of our construct, that we collectively have agreed to operate within a certain system, are dissolving. And as we move even more and more into AI and recognizing what is true and what is not true, and all of that, we're going to start to choose to build constructs in a new way. And I think that you were merging them more and more from a feminine perspective. And rather than being so linear, they're going to be very organic. and they're going to be in relationship more and more with the divine feminine. So when we originally tapped into the New Earth Light Code, as you can see, the art that's about that has Metatron here, a very masculine energy. The Metatron's cube, which is the building blocks of the universe. And it's an absolutely beautiful piece of art with so much going on. But what's really interesting is it's shifted and it's transmuted. And the guide and the energy that's going to work with us in the New Earth Code is Mary Magdalene. And Mary Magdalene is really strong, coming in to share with us so much that perhaps we weren't ready to hear, to know, and to understand. So in the New Earth Code, as it begins tomorrow, which it synchronistically happened to line up on Earth Day, which I just think is delicious and perfect. I'm going to ask you guys to really to decide if you want to come in and work with us in this code, because you want to be of service, because you've decided to be on the planet during this time to anchor in these frequencies, and you may not exactly know how or why, and that's what we're going to work on together. And so it starts on Monday. It's going to be 9 classes with me, 3 classes with Casey, for an hour in the morning. It's going to run for 3 weeks, as all the codes do. And we're going to go through a deeper understanding of how do we step over that threshold into heaven on earth. And what is heaven on earth? What is the new earth? What does it feel like? Where will we be? What will we be doing? What will it look like? And so as you start to pick up the codes and you go through them, like this one is synchronicity, right? And magic. That's what the new earth is. You'll move into more synchronicity in your life, more magic. You'll notice the magic in everything, in the simple things in life. Things just start to become alive. You tap into the I am that I am presence. You know yourself as the I am that I am. You see everyone as a reflection, as a mirror of yourself, and you're able to hold for longer periods of time a greater state of resonance of love instead of angst and so on. You tap into higher timelines, right? The timeline code. We have all these timelines that are simultaneously available to us, that are rushing in very fast toward us. And depending on where we are in our frequency, that's the timeline that we hop onto. Well, we're in New Earth. We're in just a much higher timeline, which means synchronicity, magic, attuning to the I am that I am. All of that is happening. The starseed origin code. You're connected to the stars, your star sisters and brothers. You have access to them. Like I channel the blue beings, the beings of light, the Syrian elders. They come into my space. They come more and more into your space. You'll see more things at night, little lights. You'll tap into that. The Lemurian dolphin code, tapping in more into the Lemurian soft, beautiful frequencies, the crystals, the dolphins, the whales, a feeling of being in Hawaii, connecting with all of that, right? Your pineal gland is going to be more active and more open. Your intuitive capacities are going to be stronger. You're going to sense and know things. You'll see the auras around people and plants. Your light body will be really active and activated. You'll be aware of your light body. You'll work with Merlin and the magic. I mean, these are all the different codes, the violet flame, accelerating your frequency, being able to step into that. Your twin flame might show up in your life, and you may have this deep sense of union and love that comes forward that you haven't yet experienced. It might just pop in as you move into the new earth. Healing, quantum healing, scalar healing, vibrational healing, sound healing that's really working. So we're not stuck in these old patterns of repetitive illness and sickness that are there constantly trying to show us and teach us something that we're just not getting. We can accelerate beyond that into quantum healing, working with plant medicine, abundance, being just in abundance, not having to worry about money anymore. Just like it's there, I have it whenever I need it. I don't even think about it. It just shows up. And if I'm like, oh, I don't have it, it comes in a different way. And you just step into that frequency, resurrecting things. So I'm not going to go through all 55 codes. These are just some, but these encompass, the reason I downloaded all these codes is because they encompass everything, the wholeness of what we're doing to step into the new earth. And so I developed this with Angel Raphael for you guys to fully activate your light body and my own. And it takes time. Like, it's not like, boom, okay, I'm in this new frequency. It builds. And even me, I've been doing this 35 years, right? I started channeling in 1989. I only downloaded these particular codes a few years ago. But my life just becomes more in alignment, more synchronistic, more magical, more healing, more love, more spaciousness, more abundance, more freedom. The code freedom. Do you guys have the freedom that you're seeking? So all those things keep developing and getting stronger, and there's always room for more. So to do this, we get to do it together. So I'm going to show you a PowerPoint that Devashri put together for all of us and just kind of go through what we're going to do in the new Earth Code and ask you if it resonates with you and if you want to participate in it. And it starts tomorrow. Because I feel like sometimes I get on and I channel and I bring in something and then I pop out, but I don't always fully explain to you the bigger picture. Like, why am I channeling Mary Magdalene for you on Sunday and then popping out? Why are we doing a healing activation? Why is the solar eclipse so important? All of these are different points along this pathway to us really building and holding the vision of the new earth. So Raphael would say for me, years and years and years and years, hold it, hold it. And I'd be like, hold what? Hold the vision, hold the frequency of love. And how long can we hold it? Like, I'm taking a group of people, my ascended masters, to Dom and her in Italy, whatever, in a few weeks. And one of the main missions that we're going to have when we're there is just to be together for 4 days and hold love. Can people be together and really radiate that light and that love? And that's what the new earth will require of us. And all of us drop into our dross and our mishigas and our drama and our human relationships and our all those things. But the codes are designed to help reactivate and remind of us of our own divinity. And so that's why we're here in this community. That's the mission and the work from a larger perspective of why I'm here and what I'm doing. And each of you hold a piece to that, as do I. And so as things accelerate, as they will, and they've continued to, this is going to be critical that we can hold this space. Like here, this beautiful card of the Divine Mother and self-love. This is something I've really struggled with in my life, like really loving myself, like really accepting myself. I'm 57. I'm finally figuring it out. I'm like, you know what? I'm damn cool. I'm good. It's okay. I love myself. Every roll and wrinkle in my fat butt and all that stuff, it's okay, right? Just like accepting, embracing, loving ourselves fully and completely. Freedom. Are you guys feeling the freedom you want to feel? We're going to have this choice point collectively. We're going to be forced into probably certain worlds, certain timelines that are going to be more constricting freedom. You don't have to be on that timeline. It's all vibrational. And I want to remind you, like I hear people talking about all kinds of things and they're listening to stuff and this or that is going to happen. You're creating your timeline, guys. Don't forget that. You can choose the timeline of freedom. You can choose the timeline of celebration, dancing, playing. You can choose to see everything through the lens of love. Or you can choose to see it through the lens of fear. And so if you want to drop into the new earth, you have to see it through the lens of love. You just got to, which is discernment. I love how the cards are lining up perfectly here. Discernment. You have to discern what is true and what is not true. And you're not going to be able to discern things as we move forward from how does it look? Because videos are going to be fake. Everything's going to be fake. You're going to have to discern it from the frequency. But how does it feel? Is it true? Is it alive? Is it real? Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to start on Monday. I'd love for you guys to join us. It's going to be epic. The last code we did was the goddess of the source code after being in Ireland. We opened up 9 portals, and I'm not kidding you, we definitely did. We opened something. I feel really different. Something has shifted. And something shifts in every code in your being because you're turning on keys. You're lighting up your light body. All right, so let me share my screen. If everybody would make sure you're muted, that way Tapestry can unmute if she needs to as we share. Hold on, okay. So, for those of you guys who did not do the Goddess of the Source Code, we connected here with these beautiful magical days that were just beyond, which I can't get into in depth in this moment. But we basically opened up these 8 portals connected with the infinity sign. But the last portal that we opened was on the spring equinox. And it was heaven on earth. We moved into this space that felt like heaven on earth. It turns out that from an aerial view, the space that we were in had a snake coiled around it, which was activating and bringing in the DNA. We had this beautiful cosmic egg, which was the representation of the creation egg. And we had the serpent there, and all the pieces were there, and all the codes are coming in. So what is that doing? The Kundalini, the serpent, the creation egg is activating, turning on all the codes. And so where did it do it? It did it in this place that felt like heaven on earth. And all of you guys must have had moments, many, where the matrix starts to glitch, right? Where the form in the way we know it disappears for a moment, and you step over what Debashri and I've been calling a threshold into a space. And you're like, oh my God, I'm in heaven. Maybe you've only had a glimpse of it once in a beautiful landscape or during a sunset or holding a baby, or just where everything disappears and the space that you're at is glistening in a different way. That's stepping into what we call 5D, right? Into heaven on earth. And we're here to birth more of that. And the more of us that do it and hold it and step into those spaces, while activating the frequency of love, the more we start to
Pero
create.
si trae lo que...
Please make sure you mute yourself. I'm going to just please mute yourself. That the more we do that, the more those glitches start to expand and expand. So this is how we birth the new world, right? So this was our magical place, and I'll go into it when in the code starting on Monday. But what we noticed with this is that there's a threshold, like have you ever felt like, or maybe you've seen it in a movie where they step into something and like everything glistens and changes and they're in this cocooned space. Or even like if somebody's time traveling and then they step back out and they're back in the other world. And that's what we're learning to do. We're learning to step over a threshold into a space that's from 3D to 5D in the new earth, and find where those places are. And then begin to tune into what is the feeling that you feel there, and can you expand and hold that feeling? Okay. So we're going to work with different templates in the New Earth Code. And what's showing up is the new earth crystalline plasmic template, our body as the body template, and Gaia's original organic template. So I'm going to let Devashri come in and share this artwork that she made. That stems from our trip around the infinity symbols that's created this web. And we're going to collectively, that this was fully came into form during the solar eclipse with Grandmother Spider. For those of you who are on that call, do you guys remember in the activation, we would step into an animal and we would wake up, our consciousness would wake up inside the animal as we explored and experienced through their eyes? Or it could wake up in a tree, it could wake up in a baby, it could wake up in your mother or grandmother. It's remembering that we are already our consciousness isn't separated yet within all things. And as we practice this, we get to merge those frequencies together into wholeness. So, Devashri, you want to share with us about this and what's happening here?
Right, sure. Um, so just very simply, if we can imagine the spider web, and then reimagine that built with these infinities. And the reason why we were working so closely with the infinity is the idea that we had the portal formula, which which included, which is, I think, a significant part of recognizing thresholds entering 5D, is to have and to hold polarities in equal measure, like with no judgments, with no threshold conditions. And what that gives you is access to this beautiful 0 point that you enter by way of a feeling. It's a frequency. And so when you have this template to work with, it allows for this infinite connection between these 0 points. And so it builds an entire toric field. So in a sense, if you imagine a torus, every single stream of energy that is circulating in this toric field is actually a loop. It's the infinity. And so the web combines all these infinities. And what you see here is two-dimensional, but technically it has multiple dimensions. And there are all these toric fields that are spinning together, which I hope is all of us infusing these incredible frequencies into this web. And how we do it is, as Kelly's teaching us, is the body becomes the temple. The body is that entry, that portal into this web. And so you just have to hold that frequency.
Exactly. And so you can see in the artwork over to the side, you see our bodies there. And that's what we'll be doing in the New Earth Code is we will be embedding ourselves within the web, within the infinity, as the energy moves through the 0 point and activates it in our body. So even you guys, when we had the class yesterday or last weekend with Mary Magdalene and the 0 point, the infinity symbols were moving horizontally and vertically across all the chakra systems, and she was pouring the light into that 0 point within ourselves. That's turning on, and we're receiving more and more and more and more light. And what they are showing me is that then we're going to be laying horizontal as we're going to be hooking up energetically to the organic grid and the templates on the earth, along with the higher star system energies. So using our physical bodies as the organic conduit to pull down the stellar light codes, to anchor them into Gaia's original matrix. And that's how it's like we can't step into 5D, and the earth can't step into 5D without each other. We're working together because we're the body template. We're the bridge between the codes of light and the earth, and we can't do it without the earth, and it can't do it without us. So the structure will be, as we go into the New Earth Code and we work with this, is an animal will come to you and you'll work with the Gaia grid and all the different elements within the earth itself to begin to feel that original matrix and to bring the consciousness, that feeling, that radiation of love into that space. And us, as we are, remembering that we are the I am that I am presence, and we are our own divine master, and simultaneously other masters will be appearing for all of us that we'll be working with as an example of their body template that was fully activated in their own light body, that will assist us as the animals will in anchoring in this structure. And then we're also going to be working with a symbol. So I want Debashri to share that with you. Let me get that. Oh, tell us about this art that you made that's just like Oh my God, does everybody love it? Is it amazing or is it just me? What's happening
I
here?
guess it's the artwork that's trying to illustrate the connection of these three templates. So you have the galactic light codes and us holding the body template. Now we have the masters assisting the journeys, and we also have the animal totems and these very organic, feminine, delicate frequencies that then can be embedded into the original Gaia matrix. And so this is just a drawing showing you how the web is activated by the processes that you've discussed.
Yeah. And do you guys see, you see the white lion and the black jaguar and the polarities and all the things that we received in Ireland, all the different uh, codes and keys and formulas that are needed. And we're going to teach you guys those formulas in the code. But there's just something about looking at this. You probably can't see the egg is behind it and the serpent behind the body, the rainbow bridge, the whales, the swans, the lovers, the infinity symbols, Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, the Divine Mother. All of these things are happening in here. And just by looking at it alone starts to activate your light body. Okay, so this is kind of fun. This is what starts to happen is when all this starts to get activated, things in nature will start to become more and more alive and magical. When we were in Ireland, there's just a photo of two horses on the left, but can you guys see the horses in the landscape presenting themselves there? Um, to us, it's incredibly evident. It might take some imagination for some people, but it'll start to form. Um, and what happens as we step more and more into new earth, the earth itself is so alive and active. And, you'll see pictures on Instagram of a tree looking like a person or whatever. But the more you work with these frequencies, everywhere you go, everything is like glistening and just alive, and you notice it. And so it's right there, right in front of us. So the horses and the serpents, beings of the earth, help guide these energies and anchor them into Gaia's organic template. So they're helping us, and they're starting to show themselves, like just like in Ireland, like the fairies were ready to come out, and the water, as we know from Veda Austin and our talk with her, like it's this wild, beautiful energy. It's an entity, it's a being, it's a she, and she's starting to like show us who she really is. And has she always been like that? Yeah, but we're starting to get like that she communicates and talks to us and has messages, and we have messages. And so do the trees, and so do the plants, and so does all the biology in our body. All of these things are starting to wake up as we wake up into 5D. We talk about a lot of times in the spiritual community, people who are awake, awake to the remembering of their own divinity, but also noticing and waking up as the matrix dissolves, right? And we have these glitches and we step into heaven on earth. We see everything else glistening and alive as well. So is there something here else that you want to share, Debashri, about all this?
I think it's good. Thank you.
Okay, I'm talking too much. Okay. Okay, so here are examples of masters, right? We have the angel Raphael, who I channel, and everybody, so this is kind of cool. I started channeling Raphael in 89 and it came in as Raphael. And over the years, it shifted and changed. Like when I first started to channel, I was completely unconscious. And then it was sort of like dreaming and I remembered some of it. Now I pretty much remember everything, but then I forget it because it's so much information. But I'm becoming more conscious because I'm starting to merge more with Raphael. Not that I'm the angel Raphael by any means, but my frequency and that frequency are becoming more in alignment. And I had to have already been some type of a vibrational match in order to bring it in. And each of us has a certain resonance, a frequency, a tone that we carry. And it matches up with our higher I am that I am self that presents itself as a guide, an energy, whether it be Metatron, right? Here we have on the left, or it's the angel Raphael or Archangel Michael or a Syrian elder or Kali or Sekhmet or whatever, the Divine Mother, or multiple ones, depending on the ability to shift our frequency at any given time. For instance, right now, it's Mary Magdalene for me, tuning into her frequency. So as we do the new earth code together, you're going to tap into what master's frequency are you resonating with the most, and can you bring them closer into your experience to have a deeper and stronger communication with them. And so the whole thing in the end, as we always say at the end of the calls, is love, love, love. It's all about the love. And so it's a feeling. And I think in our world up to now, it hasn't been about feeling. It's been about form and structure. And it's been really masculine. And as we're birthing the new earth and we're birthing this new consciousness, it's a feeling, and it's the ability to hold the feeling. All right. So Devashree, what's going on here? Feeling, ba, ba, ba. Oh, the
I think
symbol.
this is the symbol. Yeah.
Okay.
You can
Should
maybe
I?
just go to the last one and talk about it.
Okay. So, oops. Maybe we just go here. So, okay, so we're going to get to do something fun in the Earth Code, and you're each going to make your own unique symbol that's going to consist of different things from the Earth, and it's going to consist of the frequency, the sound, the code that you are choosing, at least for this moment. Doesn't the codes are always shifting within each of us that you want to carry and bring forward. So we'll go over all this in class, but I want to show you what it's going to look like. So cool. So, Devashree, you want to explain this?
So with the infinity, what this gives you is the ability to synthesize the three templates again. So you have the galactic light code, and then you have the original Gaia matrix. So in the symbol, it's a representative of these two polarities that we get to infuse into the web. And so we might actually be physically building this symbol, and it's really exciting to see how it's going to come together with everyone plugging in their specific light code symbol, and also any kind of Gaia matter that comes from anywhere that you are. So whether it's a plant, it's a herb, it's a soil sample, water, sacred waters. It's really exciting.
Mm.
See how that then ends up in this tapestry.
Yeah. Let me stop sharing. So what that means is that that beautiful web that was created during the eclipse, we're going to hook into together collectively to create this template of love and to merge into the new earth. And everybody here or who wants to participate or feels called to will make their own symbol and connect into what code resonates with them and bring things from the space and the earth and wherever they are to build it. And then Devashree will collect all of that, and she's going to actually take your symbol and embed it in this tapestry of this web. And we're all going to spin it, and then we're going to turn it on. And then we're going to be asked to hold the frequency of love for the planet. And that will be the code. And then there'll be another code and another code and another code, and we'll keep going. But I feel like it's going to be really beautiful in supporting all of us and anchoring in this light and stepping into the new earth, because we have to do the work. It's part of the deal. Right? We have to choose to participate in this way of being, in this frequency of love. So I was going to channel and bring in Mary Magdalene. I can do a quick channeling, but what I'm really feeling is that I would love for you guys, if you listened to last Sunday's call, to do that again. It's on YouTube. You can just listen to it on your computer. And if you didn't, to listen to it and just let all that plasmic light just pour into all your chakras and allow all the density and the pain and the sorrow and the old structures that we're all collectively choosing consciously to release. It's not always easy. To fall, to drop out, and to fall into those bowls, and to let Mary Magdalene use what I think she was using her fingers to spin the crystal bowl underneath the bed, and that frequency was healing it. And it's powerful if you can allow it. And, it's hard to break free of our conditioning and our structures and our constructs, and to step outside of what's familiar and let ourselves just be wild and free. You see my wild hair? I'm trying to be more wild lately, not so tame. It's hard though. Even that's hard. I'm like, oh, it's crazy. I can't deal with it. Right? Such a simple little thing as that is even hard to change. And so Raphael would say over the years, sleep on the other side of the bed, something like that. Go play on a playground, go down the swings, put on some really great music, take off all your clothes and just be naked, run around the house or bravely somewhere else even. Just like enjoy, expand, eat something you don't usually eat, have chocolate for breakfast. Just shake it up a little. We're trying to just break these constructs a bit. Don't be so hard on yourself. Love yourself, as much as you can. Every little single piece, even if you're whatever you are. I have so many things that I could say about myself that are not flattering. And I'm really trying to love all of those pieces, regardless. I feel like what is that movie I always refer to? It's like, or people, you just get to a certain point, you just don't give a flying fuck. Right? I'm kind of there. And so that sense of freedom is what we kind of need right now, to just expand, to open up this spaciousness. And so that we can radiate just this sense of love and relaxation and not take it all so seriously. I think one of the first things Raphael said, which were many, was lighten up, have some fun. Don't take it so seriously. I mean, this game is going to be over. You're going to have to do it again anyway. So you might as well have a good time. It's not that big a deal, guys. But while we're here, we get to play in the magic and choose to build a better world for ourselves and the earth and our families, and not get caught up in the drama and the fear, and play. So that's what we're going to start doing tomorrow. It's Earth Day. We're going to honor the earth. We're going to love the earth. We're going to listen to the elements and pay attention to them, to our body, and be the temple instead of all these ancient, beautiful, sacred sites and places around the world that we visit to pick up the codes are spectacular. But as we're shifting and morphing, we're realizing we are the temple. We are the sacred site. Your body is the temple. And it's a template of light that we're turning on. And then what we're doing is that as we turn it on, we're grounding into the ley lines, the synchronic lines, the dragon lines, the energies beneath the earth, right? And that template of light that's radiating and turned on in our bodies is going on and reactivating and turning on the templates in the earth and then we are connecting to the stars, and it's all just one energetic system that's lighting up, and we get to participate in it, and we get to play in that. How beautiful is that? So I think I'm not going to channel. I think I'm going to ask you to go and listen to the Yet Last Sundays and just to really see if you can feel it, like really feel it, like put a blindfold on and really listen to it and really feel it and see if there's stuff still within your system that you're like, you know what, I'm going to let go. I'm just going to let go. I'm going to let Mary Magdalene pull it out of me, and I'm going to let the light come in. And if you feel in resonance with that, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to do the code, then come do it with us, because we would love to have you. We've been it's accumulating. The codes are building. They're getting stronger, I think, as we go. So people here, I'm not channeling, so they're dropping away. I'm a channeling machine. You're not getting the goods. You're like, I'm out. uh, but that's okay. Do you guys, anybody have any questions about any of that? I just wanted to share it because that's what we're doing. And there's all this work that happens and goes on behind the scenes to prepare for these codes. They don't just pop out of nowhere. They build in time. All right. I love you guys. I hope you have the most beautiful Sunday. I'm going to reserve all of my energy for the code that starts tomorrow so that I'm a freaking powerhouse for you guys. And I hope that you will join us. And there's a link in your email, and I'll see you in the morning. Okay. And don't forget, I know it sounds like I'm just like, but it as a member, as a light code member, you have access to all of the light codes, which is 400 hours of activations and channelings. So you might be like, I need self-love today, and it's right there. Or I need to heal my bladder. It's right there. Or I need to feel empowered. It's all in there, and you get access to it. So don't forget that. Okay. Love you guys. Thank you to Tapestry for everything. She is just the best. And I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. All right.